We are Blackmore. We are Ohio.
It was walk-off Wednesday 2 nights ago in Cleveland as Francisco Lindor ended the game with a home run against the Twins. It was only the Indians' third walk-off of the year, but they liked it so much they decided to come back and do it again yesterday, this time with Michael Brantley in the starring role as the Indians took 3 out of 4 from the Twins and increased their lead to 11 games, the biggest divisional lead in all of baseball. Tonight, the Indians open up a 6-game road trip with the first of 3 against the Chicago White Sox on the south side. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. We have talked at great length this year about Jose Ramirez and his candidacy as far as the MVP race is concerned. You can make a pretty strong case, though, for his teammate, Francisco Lindor.
No doubt about it, Frank. He's really the energy of this offense, and he gets it started off right. When they're at home and in that bottom of the first inning, he can hit a home run. He gets on the base. He leads the league with 99 runs scored. He's the one that makes this offense go. Not only on the offensive side, but shortstop-wise, he's a fantastic shortstop. He's stealing bases. And when you look at the Indians' 2 candidates, that's the Lindor and Ramirez. Boston has 2 as well. Mookie Betts, J.D. Martinez are rightfully up there, along with Mike Trout, who is there all the time anyway, every year. He is on the disabled list right now, but you can also make a case for Chris Davis, who is out there with the Oakland Athletics.
Should be an interesting race as we go down the stretch. We'll see tonight if Francisco Lindor can score his 100th run of the season. We'll be back with the play-by-play coming up shortly. Al and Jensen are up next with the big story. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by Who But WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians, and by your Northern Ohio Honda dealers. Made in Ohio, Ohio proud. Now with our Here Right sounds of the game. Dre, you remember Michael Jordan once famously told then Olympic basketball coach Bobby Knight, there is no I in team, but there is in win. Ooh. But whereas basketball is a game that can be dominated by the individual, baseball's a different story, isn't it?
It absolutely is. Everyone wants to be a hero, but how do you become a hero in a baseball game? And as you said, there's an I in win, but in team, not so much. And in the last 2 nights, there have been celebrations. There have been late-back comebacks. But it's taken teamwork for it all to work out for the Indians.
Team situations. There was no outs yesterday. My first swing, I wanted to hit a home run. I wanted to win the game. He gets to second, the approach changes. Get him over, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to get him over. I know I have 2 of the best hitters in the league behind me. And then the day before, it was 2 outs. They were shifting me. I wanted to win the game. So it's completely different swings. My first swing of that at bat was kind of like the first one the day before. My second swing was like get on top of the plate, choke up, get jammed. I don't care.
I think the attitude is, okay, how can we get together and become one unit, like one team with one goal, one purpose, to win and to be the last winning team on the field in any championship season.
I love the Francisco Lindor response to Andre's question because it takes you to the game within the game, what he was trying to do in those at-bats.
It revolves around little things. And it's yesterday, you know, you got a man on second base. After the stolen base, he got a base hit. He steals second. Get him to third. Trust the guy behind you to get him in. And Brantley did that. If you do that on a daily basis, consistently overall, you're going to get your share of wins. You're going to get your share of walk-offs. And it's the little things. Everybody wants to be a hero, but you can't do it if you don't help each other.
It's probably a big reason why this has been one of the best offenses in baseball, batting average-wise, run-scoring-wise.
Let's take a look now at the Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher Carlos Rodon, who is 3-3 on the year. He's won he's 2-0 with a nice 1.56 ERA over his last 5 starts. He's 2-0 at home this year in 4 starts, and he has made 2 starts against the Indians. He has 1 no decision, and the Indians beat him the last time that they faced him.
The Indians starting lineup for Terry Francona is brought to you by Progressive Insurance, and the Indians own the 2nd best batting average in the American League, a team mark of .258. Francisco Lindor leads it off. There's yesterday's hero, Michael Brantley. Jose Ramirez will bat third. Edwin Encarnacion hitting cleanup. Brandon Guyer in the 5-hole with the lefty on the mound. Yonder Alonso will hit 6th. Then Yan Gomes, Jason Kipnis, and Rajay Davis.
And the defense for the White Sox looks like this. It's going to be Delmonico in left field, Lamar in center, Garcia over and right. On the infield, it'll be Sanchez at third, Anderson at short, Moncada at second, Abreu at first, Narvaez behind the plate. They are 14th in the league in defense. They have made 82 errors.
Carlos Torres will call the balls and strikes. Paul Nart is at first, Tom Woodring at second, Scott Berry at third, and we are underway. First pitch of the night is inside, ball 1. 76 degrees, our game time temperature. Bounced foul.
Carlos Rodon in his last start struggled with his command against Tampa. He had 5 walks. That's the one thing he can do. He can walk a lot of hitters, but he will cut that fastball inside to the righties. He can be tough on you.
Missed outside, it's 2-1. The Indians are 3rd in the American League in runs scored. They have racked up 582 runs on the year. Low 3-1. Only teams that have scored more, the Yankees and the Red Sox. Popped up on the 3-1 pitch. Coming back our way.
Legs aren't long enough,
Down
my
below.
friend.
No. That's about as close as I've had one, though.
Now, you
this
see,
year.
those are the ones you can go after. It's got a little air underneath it. It's not a line drive right back at you.
5 straight multi-hit games for Lindor.
That's incredible. And he had a streak this year where he had 6 straight earlier in the year.
Takes ball 4, and the Indians leadoff man is aboard.
Well, starts off the game with a walk. It's a borderline pitch, but maybe a little upstairs above the belt. You see Narvaez trying to bring it down into the strike zone. So Frankie will lead it off this time with a walk.
Michael Brantley. This year, Brantley has hit .342 against Chicago pitching. With a couple of homers, 4 runs batted in. The Indians have won 8 out of 10 against Chicago. And here in the early going, Rodon struggling to find home plate.
He's 25 years old, Matt. He started the year on the disabled list because he had left shoulder surgery in the offseason last September, as a matter of fact. But he is by far their best pitcher.
But I would think when you're coming back from a surgery of that magnitude, that the consistency start to start might be a little erratic until he gets a number of innings.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's like starting all over again. You know, he has 64 1/3 innings coming into this game. So you're right. He doesn't have the innings, the starts. He's got to work it out.
Brantley taking all the way, and that's in there for strike 2 and 1.
He has the fastball, a slider, and a good changeup. And he'll cut his fastball as well.
He was trying to go away. He came in, and Brantley lifts it high and deep to right, but it's caught in the middle of the warning track for out number 1. Well, he got away with one, and Brantley just missed it. Storylines are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Jose Ramirez has had a good season against Chicago pitching, and Jose Abreu of Chicago has picked it up since the All-Star break.
Yeah, he's starting to warm up a little bit. He was down at the 250 mark.
Jose Ramirez takes outside, ball 1. Jose Ramirez is second in the American League in walks. He is third in on-base percentage, third in extra base hits, second in homers, third in runs batted in. Pops this one up, though, in foul ground, and Abreu will make the catch, 2 down. It's going to bring up Edwin Encarnacion. Edwin 0 for his last 8. And a foul right back, and he looked a little awkward after that swing. I don't know,
like
something
it might
with
have been
his left shoulder?
I don't know if it was a shoulder, oblique, or something, but it didn't look right. Watch, he let go of the bat.
James Quinlan is up on the top step of the Indians dugout. And Edwin is waving him back, saying he's okay. We'll see.
Just didn't look right.
Sure did not. The Indians have 3 of the top 5 RBI men in the American League. Ramirez is 3rd, Encarnacion 4th, Lindor is 5th. Lindor is off and running, and the throw is not in time. Frankie has his 18th stolen base of the year.
And the Indians just continue to keep on running. Boy, it doesn't matter who's out there. They are number 1 in the league with stolen bases. Lindor gets his 18th. They've only been caught 22 times. It's a great percentage.
Edwin shoots one down the right field line, but it's going to slice foul. thing about Lindor, Rick, is that there doesn't seem to be anything he does that is, what would you say, worthy of being accused of padding stats. If he steals a base, there's a purpose behind it. He's not the kind of guy who's going to steal third right now with 2 outs.
No,
just to put another stolen base on the stat book. Down in the dirt.
No, he doesn't play the game that way.
I mean, just thinking about what he said, you know, the night before, he was thinking about, all right, they got the shift on, there's 2 outs, I got to try and win the game right here. Yesterday, nobody out, runner at second, different story. I just need to get him to third somehow.
No matter.
Not trying to be the hero.
Get him
just
over.
Do your job.
Right. That's how teams win on a consistent basis. A lot of times, everybody wants to be the hero. You get to extra innings. I want to hit a home run. Well, now the little thing, you get a guy on, get him over, get him in. That's the way you play the game of baseball. It's been that way for 100 years. It's tough to get guys to buy into it, though.
Rodon checks Lindor, the 2-2, and Edwin takes a full count.
Well, a nice patient at bat here after down in the count 0-2. When Lindor stole that base, and already a meeting on the mound in the first inning. Everybody comes in. I guess they get their money's worth. If the catcher goes out, everybody else comes in.
Yeah. Hey, what are you guys talking about?
So
nobody wants to be left out.
yeah.
Brandon Guyer waits on deck. See if Rodon challenges Edwin with first base open, or if he tries to get him to chase his pitch. In off the plate, ball 4, second walk of the inning. And there are 2 on with 2 out for Guyer.
Yeah, he let that one go. He had Encarnacion down. He will just cruise to first base.
Well, Brandon Guyer has picked up the pace considerably. He has batted .298 in his last 36 games. And for the season, a .343 mark with runners in scoring position. And Terry Francona told me before the game, Guyer will get ample playing time, but he still believes in Greg Allen, the young switch hitter who helped them win the game yesterday at home. Leonis Martin sidelined on the disabled list, so it's going to be a combination. Guyer, Martin, and obviously Rajay Davis, but Greg Allen.
Well, yeah, you need the center fielder.
In tight, and it's 1-1. And Rodon has walked 2 in the inning, but he got a key out on Jose Ramirez when he popped one up into foul territory. Brantley almost hit one out of here. So Rodon is sort of walking the tightrope here in the early going. And he almost hit Guyer with that pitch, 2-1.
I'll tell you what, he's been hit by him 3 different times in his career, so he was going to take that one. Watch, he's almost going to like try and take it off his front leg here. Get it. See, he doesn't move. The feet do not move. If that ball's low for Guyer, they stay right where they are.
Lindor takes off. They'll throw to second to try to get Edwin, and they don't get him.
Well,
Encarnacion with a stolen base, his second of the year, and that's pretty good heads-up base running by Encarnacion. He saw Lindor go, he took off too.
They had to give him a sign for him to take off and be safe. That's why they throw. I think Frankie said he must have relayed a sign to say, if I get a jump, I'm running. Be ready.
And because they're not holding him, he's able to get a really good lead.
He could take off and get that lead, and he went in head first. So that's 3 stolen bases here in the first, and it was a 2-1 count. So.
Oh, Guyer goes down swinging to end the inning. So Rodon escapes a first inning jam, and now the White Sox will face Shane Bieber when we come back.
is making his first ever start against the White Sox, but it'll be his 6th start against a AL Central team where he's posted a 3-0 record with a 3.52 ERA. Also 2-0 on the road.
White Sox starting lineup for Chicago tonight. It's going to be Nicky Delmonico leading it off, then Yolmer Sanchez, followed by Jose Abreu, Daniel Palca, Avisaíl Garcia, Omar Narvaez, then Tim Anderson, Yohan Moncada, and former Twin Ryan Lamar batting ninth. Delmonico missed 2 months with a fractured hand earlier this year. He was on the DL from May 18th till July 19th. Fouled it off. And a slow hook got him. Nice pitch by Bieber. Starts the game with a strikeout. His 59th in 58 innings of work.
Well, take a look at this breaking ball on our Nissan pitch tracker. That's a pitch he really didn't have in his last start. He was struggling to find that good breaking ball, but he worked his way through it against the Angels where he did beat him, but he had to use that fastball a lot.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't have the breaking ball. It looks like, you know, early he may have it and have a better feel for it tonight.
Yolmer Sanchez takes a fastball for strike one.
And we talked in the past when he was doing some things wrong and Carl was able to tweak him in his bullpen session, how quickly he gets back and learns and gets right back to it.
Boy,
he's going out after it early.
Fastball, breaking ball, strike one, strike two.
Well, that's his style. Throwing strikes, getting ahead, expanding.
Down in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Weak ground ball hit towards second base, and Jason Kipnis throws him out 2 down.
Let's check out the Tribe defense brought to you by Chrysler. Looks like this. Brantley in left, Davis is at center, Geyer over at right. It'll be Ramirez at third, Lindor at short, Kipnis at second, Alonso at first, and Gomes doing the catching.
Chicago 12th in the American League with a .241 batting average and also 12th in runs scored. Only the Royals, Tigers, and Orioles have scored fewer runs than Chicago. You know, and it's an interesting place for the White Sox because for years, under owner Jerry Reinsdorf, going back to when they won the World Championship in '05, they were a team that sort of teetered on the brink of, are we too old? Should we start the rebuild? And every year they'd sort of tweak it and maybe give themselves another year or two of contention, but they were never really all in or never really in rebuild.
Yes, but they're all in now.
Yeah.
They're all in now. This is the veteran that they kept right here in the batter's box for the most part.
Up the middle.
And he's been hot. You know, when you sell or trade a guy like Chris Sale and then Quintana, right?
Start to name them. They've jettisoned most of the pieces.
There's the fastball inside, but he gets enough of it. This big, strong man right there, but rolls it into center field for a base hit.
Daniel Palka, left-handed hitting DH. He has 17 home runs on the year.
Yeah, as a rookie, that's graded second. He swings hard because when he hits him, he can crush him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a different sound when he gets into it.
Indians have a 3-man shift on the right side of the infield.
Yes, he did.
He tried to hold up. They appeal, and he went too far, says Scott Berry down at third.
Yes, he did. No question about it. That's why Gomes was going to wait before he asked to get out and get that ball. But you can see he went. Didn't want anybody to advance.
One ball and 2 strikes. There you see the infield defensive alignment. Outfield plays him straight up. And the pitch is a little high. 2-2. Given that the White Sox are 41-73 on the year, this is not a bad turnout on a beautiful Friday evening here in August. 2-2. And that's low. Full count. Avisaíl Garcia waiting on deck. Abreu will be off on the 3-2 pitch, and that's strike 3 called. Shane Bieber strikes out a pair here in the first, and we are scoreless after 1 in Chicago. Will be Yonder Alonso. Carlos Rodon delivers. And Alonso takes inside ball 1. Not to be overly dramatic, but especially for a guy like Yonder Alonso, sometimes it's difficult. You have a job to do, but then in your personal life there are issues that make it hard to just go about your day. And for Yonder Alonso, Leonis Martin is not just a teammate now for him, but in his words, his best friend. Martin, as many of you know, was placed on the disabled list. And while the terms of why he was put on the DL were vague, that was because that was the family's wishes. It's not a baseball situation. But Alonso, again, you know, he didn't want to elaborate, but he did tell me, look, he's my best friend. Been thinking a lot about him, hoping for the best, praying for him. They spent a lot of time together in the offseason. Terry Francona said, look, all we can say right now is that keep Leonis Martin in your thoughts and prayers. He's at the Cleveland Clinic. He's getting the best care possible. And he left it at that. And so it's not that we're trying to be coy or we're trying to be vague. That's the situation. Just wanted you to be aware. But obviously, this is not just your run-of-the-mill DL situation. Alonso goes down swinging. You may have noticed in the first inning, Jose Abreu, when the Indians had a runner at first base. Abreu, also a native of Cuba, like Martin, like Alonso. He has a message on his hat for Leonis Martin. So, tough situation, Arch. You know, you've been through it too. There's baseball, there's business,
baseball.
but sometimes the personal side clashes with that.
Life comes first.
Yeah.
Yes, and yes, the loved ones and the people you care about, absolutely.
Yan Gomes takes a pitch up high, ball one.
And Matt, Rick, just to take it a step further and talk about Yonder Alonso, and just talking to him right before the game started, he just told me, I'm tired. He goes, I tried to sleep last night, just didn't sleep very well. He said, but I know Martin will want me to play baseball, so that's what we're going to go do.
Yan Gomes with a smash to third and a nice play by Sanchez. 2 down. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not much more to add to it. Hopefully, in the coming days, there'll be some good news to report. But
yeah, let's hope so.
2 down for Jason Kipnis. He's hit .273 against the White Sox this year with 3 home runs, 6 runs batted in. That should come as no surprise. He's always swung the bat well against Chicago. A Northbrook, Illinois native. Takes outside. You know what else about Kip, Arch? He's hit .266 against lefties this year.
Yeah, right. He hangs in there for a reason. I mean, I have a hard time believing he's hitting what he is against right-handers.
Yeah.
You know, because if you can hold your own against left-handers, it really shouldn't be that big of a deal. I mean, right-handers, he's hitting .205.
Kipnis down swinging. Rodon finds his groove. The Indians go in order. We go to the bottom of the second, no score.
tickets, enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and much more, download the MLB Ballpark app today.
Bottom of the second inning, Avisaíl Garcia will lead off for Chicago. And a fastball strike over the outside corner. Garcia twice this year has spent time on the disabled list with a right hamstring problem.
Last time we were here, this is the first time I believe he's played against us this year.
I think you're right.
I'm going to look right here. Let's see.
Third strikeout for Bieber. Watch the spin on this baby.
Yeah, this he has his weapons early tonight, Matt. That was a nice tight slider. 3 strikeouts out of the first 5 hitters.
Omar Narvaez. Boy, this guy's been hot since June 7th. So you're talking 2 months now and counting. He's hit .396.
That's a nice little roll.
Yeah, I had to look at that twice. I'm like, is that a typo? Or my eyes? .396. And again, a catcher. So you know he's not legging out many infield hits.
No.
He's earning them. He was batting .169 before this tear began. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. So that's what's crazy, Arch. How can the same guy be a .169 hitter for the first couple of months of the year and then hit almost 400 for the next
Something
2?
clicks. Something clicks in there, and he found something that works for him, and he's starting to believe it. He had some success, and he's been on a roll.
Ground ball. Rolls it to Kipnis. 2 down. Tonight's injury report is brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Well, Kenley Jansen, big deal for the Dodgers, and that's certainly a scary injury when you're talking about an irregular heartbeat.
Yes, it is.
Mike Trout, that's a devastating injury for the Angels. And Mejia, who we just saw in Cleveland, and remember, he was dealing. He was dealing in that game against the Tribe. He left with an arrested
5
injury.
innings, yeah.
And now he's on the DL with it.
Hard to believe, man. He shut us down. He had a bad wrist.
Tim Anderson. Anderson 1 hit in his last 13 at bats. Takes down low. Fastball dips low. 2 balls and a strike. Boy, that pitch just missed upstairs. And now it's 3-1.
Anderson, a guy that likes the ball down.
94. Right in the hitting zone, but a foul back and a full count.
They play him basically straight away. You know, I haven't seen our team do many shifts whatsoever through this White Sox lineup first time through.
Pop back out of play.
Yeah, Bieber looking down. He left that breaking ball up. He knows it wasn't a good pitch and got away with one.
Well, and that's part of Shane Bieber. He doesn't walk many. So
right. Well,
he's
that's
going
why
to challenge you.
He'll give up more hits than innings pitched. Coming into today, he's given up 70 hits in 57 innings before this start, but he only walked 11.
Yeah.
He's not going to give the free base runners. He doesn't beat himself. Hit your way on.
But this one's going to go for extra bases. Anderson pulls it to left field for a 2-out double to keep the inning alive. That's his 18th two-bagger.
Well, give Anderson credit. It was a fastball inside that he pulls his hands in and smokes it to left field. Look at him. That was a pitch going up and in. Watch the hands come in. At that first movement, they came in through the inside, so give him credit for getting the base hit. But you know what? Bieber says, I'm going to get hit out of the game. I'm not going to walk myself out of the game. And I like that.
And with 2 outs, he can still get out of the inning by getting Moncada. And Moncada offensively has really struggled. Last 17 games, he is 2 for 29. And not only is he 2 for 29, but in those 17 games, he has piled up 18 strikeouts. That one took off, and it's 2-0. Now the 2-0. And he missed again, ball 3. And now Gomes wants to go out to talk. With 2 out and first base open, you've got the number 9 hitter on deck. Now, I mentioned Moncada has been struggling. Well, he still has the ability to make you pay if you make a bad pitch. So the question is 3-0, do you figure he's just sitting taking all the way? Can you afford to just throw one in there?
You know what? You almost can never assume anybody's taking anymore, right? You just got to go out and make a quality pitch. But, you know, you're not going to just groove him. Because, you know, guys like this, that's when managers say, go ahead, he's hitting 218. Doesn't really deserve the right to swing at a 3-0 pitch, but they let him swing now.
And he takes a fastball outside corner for a strike, 3-1. And he missed up high with that fastball. So it's his first walk tonight, and only the 12th he has issued in 58 innings at the big league level this year. Ryan Lamar will be the batter. Mark Budzinski positions the outfielders accordingly. Lamar played 43 games for Minnesota. In fact, Lamar had the winning hit in Game 2 of the series down in Puerto Rico. 16 innings, but he was designated for assignment July 2nd, and the White Sox snapped him up. Bieber changes up on him, and it's 0-2.
Well, that's the one thing you got to do. If you walk that guy, you know, to put him on base, you got to get after it. And you can see against the Indians in 7 games this year.
Well, remember, Arch, early in the year, that's when Minnesota was dominating the Indians.
Yes, indeed.
0-2, grounded to third. Ramirez backs up, goes to first. Good throw, inning over. No runs, a hit, 2 left. We've played 2, no score in Chicago. Lindor and Michael Brantley. Boy, what a gorgeous night here in the Windy City. Looks like it's going to be like
no
this,
wind
the whole weekend.
Let's hope so.
Rajay pops the bunt up and he threw the bat down in disgust. StatCast AI powered by AWS. Let's go back and take a look at the double steal. How fast were these guys moving?
Well, I'll tell you, Lindor had a great jump, so he must have had him time, but they chose to throw through to second base, which was the smart move. But look at, they're not holding Encarnacion, so he had a huge lead, and he's able to get down there and follow up on the backside of that double steal. Well done.
Lindor walked and stole a pair in that first inning, but was stranded at third.
Change up. And after that bunt that Davis popped up, Lindor was taken all the way because it was the first pitch, so you're not going to give him, 2 outs and 2 pitches. Because he had to really work hard through that first inning to get through it, but he breezed through the second.
Down in the dirt, 2-2.
Yeah, that's the pitch for Rodon. You're going to have to lay off that little cutter running inside to the right-handers. He tries to get you to chase it. It looks like a strike, but it finishes as a ball down and in.
Lindor rifles one to deep left field. It's over the head of Delmonico. Hits on the base of the wall. Lindor has to hurry. He's into second with a head-first dive. It's his 39th double of the year. He leads the league in that department.
He sure does. He's a doubles machine. And I mean, this ball, it was a rocket. It was a fastball out over the plate. And I mean, it hits the wall and it bounces back, and Lamar makes a nice play off the wall. But watch Frankie come out of the box. He's not jaking around there. He's digging. He knows he's got to go. That ball was smoked. So that's their first hit, an extra base hit, and they're third in the league in that department. That's 394 extra base hits for the Indians.
And again, remember, Lindor sitting on 99 runs scored for the season. He was at third in the first inning. See if Brantley can get him home here in the third. In there for a strike. He's become a dynamic leadoff man, Francisco Lindor, and Andre has more on that.
Well, as you say dynamic, it makes me think of a conversation I had with Terry Francona before the game. And we asked him, is he the perfect leadoff hitter? And he said, the way the game is played today, he absolutely is, because of his power, because of his speed. We talked about him hitting behind guys to the point where Tito said, I told him not to bunt 2 nights ago, to go out and play the game the way he knows how to play it best. He said it's been fun to see this. He thought he'd be a 3-hole hitter, but he may be the best leadoff hitter in the game. And you guys know, Tito doesn't just go out of his way to say things like that about any player.
Well, you're hitting right around 300. You're leading the league in doubles. You're there in home runs, RBIs. And he has those categories as a leadoff hitter second to none.
Andre, now that you've gotten to know Lindor, don't you feel like if Tito had said, we're going to bat you second, we're going to bat you fifth, we're going to bat you fourth, no matter where, he would have striven, his strives would have been, I'm going to be the best at wherever I'm at.
That's the best thing about him. I think you're right. You can put him anywhere. Well, they hit him clean up a couple times this year, and he's laughed and he's been great about it. But I think the reason he wants to be in the leadoff spot.
Nice backhanded play by Anderson. That's going to keep Lindor at first. 2 down.
But I think the reason he wants to be at that leadoff spot, as we've talked about throughout this year, is he feels like that ignites the team, that ignites the offense. And he always talks about he likes having Brantley behind him. He likes having Jose Ramirez behind him because he feels like if he scores runs, they score early, that changes the complexion of the game. And so far this year for the offense, it's been true.
Yeah, and he said that right from the get-go, man. He told Tito, I want to hit leadoff.
And now Jose Ramirez, who fouled out his first time. And he's got another opportunity to get the Indians on the board.
Well, that's a pretty good number for Ramirez with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, a 429 average. Those hits go a long way. Those are the toughest to get. I see Milky Cabrera on deck, so something must have happened to Encarnacion.
Yeah.
Just what we thought in that first inning on that first swing. Something was not right.
Ramirez rips it foul. Driven deep down the left field line and just foul. Lindor had taken off on the pitch, and Ramirez almost drilled it out of here. Man, was that thing killed.
Rodon just said something to Ramirez. He went up as he was getting his bat back and said, oh man, you should have got that one. They wanted it inside. He slowed it down and didn't get it in there. And as it hooks foul, he knows he was lucky.
He got away with one.
Yeah, he was very lucky there. Curious what he said.
popped him up again. Near the pitcher's mound. And Abreu outduels Sanchez to make the catch and end the inning. No runs ahead, a man left in scoring position. No score, middle of the third. Game for our Miller Lite Hold True moment. Bottom of the third here on the south side of Chicago. Top of the order. And Nicky Delmonico will start it for the White Sox. Yolmer Sanchez, Jose Abreu also due up. Delmonico, a swing and a miss.
Who comes inside, started him out away with a good fastball and comes inside.
To left, Brantley. One down. Down to Andre.
Well, you talking about Shane Bieber working on his off-speed stuff, and Rick, you were dead on. He did not have it last game, and he worked on the fastball. But the funny thing is, when we talk about all the other starters going out and watching each other's in-between starts, watching their bullpens, when he came off in the first inning, Mike Clevenger was the first guy to meet him at the steps. He said, "Hey, I see you got the right grip on the slider." Then he had to go to Bauer. All of these guys are working with him, and they're watching. They know what he needs to do to get that pitch down. It's a fun thing to watch. These guys compete against each other, but they're watching closely to make sure the guys are doing what they need to do to get wins.
You know how lucky he is to have that, where guys like that can come in and just make an adjustment if they notice something, and and it's an in-game adjustment.
And I think a couple of them, and I know Bauer's helped Clevenger with his slider. But you can just tell that they change grips. They talk about the grips that work best. And Bieber's told me this has been the most fun he's ever had playing baseball, having these type of guys around him every single day.
Yeah, tell him to get used to it. It's going to be here a long time.
I know you weren't a pitcher, but can you speak to how that's changed over the years? Where from a time when maybe rookies had to earn their stripes and earn the respect before anybody would even speak to them?
Well, that's a good point. And a lot of times when the coaches, you did have coaches on the staff, they wouldn't tell you anything. Hitting coach, they never taught you hitting. They just, okay, it's a good swing. Get something you like and go. That was about it. I mean, here now it's changed so much, and there's so much information and documentation. when you have veterans, you have guys that can help you out, and you've been around a while, and you're playing together as a team. That's a beautiful thing.
But I think that, you know, the point Andre was making that maybe we didn't emphasize is that these guys do hold each other accountable. So you may be a rookie and you may feel like you're getting a lot of information, and that's great for your career. But if you don't do your job, they are the ones that are going to hold you accountable for it.
Yeah, well, that's good competition.
Yeah.
Competition makes everybody thrive. You've got to compete amongst your peers and your players. This is not an easy lineup to crack into, especially as a pitcher. When you can do that, like Bieber can as a rookie who just started in Double-A this year. I mean, he's got 6 wins, and he's 6-1 and down in the minor leagues. He's got 12 wins. And to come up here and break into this rotation, that's saying something.
And like Mike Clevenger said in the interview with Andre, Corey Kluber has set the bar so ridiculously high that you have to work your tail off to be even in this group. The 0-2, swinging a foul right back.
You know, it can be an intimidating thing when you try to break into a staff like this, but like they say, they hold everybody accountable. They share all the information. They go watch you throw your bullpens. It's a very elite group. And you see Allen sitting over there laughing. Bauer's holding court. He'll be going tomorrow. And Carrasco will go on Sunday.
I'm glad you said that. I haven't been able to tell you what day it is all day long. 1-2 pitch just missed. Man, that's twice at least in this inning that Bieber has thrown a pitch that was legitimately a strike and didn't get called.
Well, take a look at it and see what you think.
Foul the other way.
And the funny thing of it is, with hitters like this, they don't need an extra strike. They're
Right.
good enough. If you give them 3 strikes, they're still really good. You give them 4, there's a pretty good chance they'll get a hit.
Yeah, even with his struggles at times this year, Brady's 4th in the league in doubles with 33. In his last 9 games, 6 times he's had a multi-hit effort. Singled his first time up, right up the middle. This one's at the first baseman, Alonso, and the inning is over. Bieber retires the side in order for the first time, and through 3 innings, we are scoreless in Chicago.
Fans will receive an Indians yard flag. That'll be courtesy of Progressive. Stay after the game for a Jim Thome celebration fireworks display that is presented by Pierre's. Get tickets at Indians.com or by using the Ballpark app.
Melky Cabrera in for Edwin Encarnacion. Pops one up. Left field, Delmonico, one down. No word on why Encarnacion left the game, but we assume it had something to do with a swing and was it a miss or a foul ball in that first
swing?
inning?
You know, he might have fouled it off, but I mean, he let go of the bat. It didn't look right.
Yeah, he immediately kind of hunched over, and it looked like he was in discomfort. But he waved off James Quinlan, the head athletic trainer, and said, "I'm all right."
Until the at bat was over.
But he did not return, so. Wait to hear.
Hopefully it'll be just precautionary, but
right.
I'm sure they're looking at him right now.
Brandon Geyer struck out to end the first inning.
There's that first swing he took tonight. And then you see him wince.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either that something in that left arm or an oblique.
Down in the dirt.
That's the one he tries to get you to swing at it. He was able to get Brandon to swing at that pitch in his first at bat. He wants to know the count. It is 2-2.
Grounded to third, just foul. Remember the other day you were telling me that one of the most dangerous teams to have to play right now is the Texas Rangers. They may be a last place team.
Right.
But they're hot right now, and they are whipping the Yankees in New York. 9-1 in the sixth inning. Ronald Guzman has hit 2 home runs in that game for the Rangers.
You know, you can't fall asleep on teams like that because they can swing the bat, and they have been. They're out of it. They don't care, but they want to beat you. They're a dangerous team. Ask Seattle. You know, you're going to have to go in there if you want to beat Texas. You better get ready to score some runs.
Pulled foul. Granted, it's a long way from over, but in the bottom of the 5th, the Orioles lead Boston 8-5 at Camden. Nathan Eovaldi lasted less than 3 innings. He gave up 10 hits.
He didn't even give up a hit in his first couple of starts, I don't think.
Orioles bombed him tonight.
No, there's still a long way to go.
Yeah.
Until they get that 27th out.
Here's the 2-2. And Geyer goes down swinging again. 2 down in the 4th. Our stat of the game brought to you by Buick. Best team record with a run batted in. When J.D. Martinez drives one in, the Red Sox are 46-7.
Wow.
How about Yonder and Brantley?
Huh. Well, here's Yonder. You better drive in a run.
Drive yourself in right here.
Yeah.
He's done a bit of that lately. 7 homers in his last 18 games. And a foul right back. Down low. 2-1, a ground ball, and this will be Tim Anderson, the shortstop, with the shift on. And the Indians are retired in order for the second time tonight. This year for the White Sox. We're seeing more and more of that, Rick.
Yeah.
Look at that. 41 true position players have pitched 52 total appearances this season. Those are both the most in
That used to really
era.
be a rarity, you know, when you'd see a position player pitch.
Mop-up game or something.
And I mean, when you see guys doing it 3, 4, last year, Chris
Jimenez did it, what,
6 times.
Yeah.
And they're carrying more relievers now than ever. And,
we saw Brandon Geyer pitch this year for the Indians.
Did a nice job, too.
Who did we see? It was just recently somebody. Oh, it was a guy from Minnesota. Hit the home run the next day. Mitch Garland.
Oh, that's right. No wonder why. It was on our last homestand. Can't remember that.
Remember 2 days
gotta
ago.
Go 2 years ago.
I'll never forget the late Andy Marte striking out Nick Swisher.
Oh, yeah, high fastball, yeah.
The 0-2.
Big Saguaro. Yeah, that's. Remember we beat Cincinnati 19-4? They brought in a pitcher that threw a knuckleball.
Oh, now, yes.
Blandino?
That's right. Now, because I remember it was dancing pretty good. That's right.
Man, it was, yes. And they went home that 19-6 game.
Daniel Palka takes a called third strike. That's 4 Ks now for Bieber, and both times he's had Palka looking. Arch, he looks to me, tell me if I'm dead wrong, to be maybe a guess hitter.
Well,
and if he doesn't get what he's guessing, he just takes it.
Well, he took a 3-2 fastball his first at-bat that was right there to hit. And what's he take here? That's another fastball.
Right down.
You can't take fastballs that are on the plate like that. You've got to at least offer a swing at them unless you're sitting just on the breaking ball.
Avisaíl Garcia, he's out in front of the off-speed pitch. Garcia struck out his first time up.
I mean, that's a thing that hitters that they're saying, hey, you're not going to get that fastball by me. Usually you'll see a swing at it unless you just totally lock him up.
That's why I said to you, he's got to be sitting there guessing, right?
Yeah, you would think so.
If not, he needs a new prescription.
Well, he can keep taking all series long if he'd like.
2-1 the count on Garcia, who has hit 12 homers in his last 31 games. But the DL has cost him plenty of action this year. 2-2. To third base, Ramirez. 2 down.
Well, hot off the presses for the next 7 days, 2019 All-Star Game merchandise is now available exclusively at Progressive Field Team Shops. You can visit our team shops for an exclusive introduction of our 2019 All-Star product assortment. You can choose from an array of apparel, headwear, and novelty items. Something for everyone. Be the first to get your hands on All-Star gear. 7 days. Go to the team shops.
Omar Narvaez grounded out to second base, his only time up. Slaps it out of play to the left side. Seattle and Houston are scoreless in the 5th down in Texas. It's a key battle, especially for Seattle. Started the night 7 games out of first in the AL West, and currently on the outside of the wild card picture with the surging Oakland A's closing to just 4.5 back of Houston in the division. Two balls and a strike. Bieber has allowed 2 hits, a 2-out single by Abreu in the first, a 2-out double by Anderson in the second. Tim Anderson. Trying to retire the side in order for the 2nd inning in a row. Just a bit outside, 3-1. Out of play. That one's headed to the upper deck on the left side. Here's the payoff pitch. All 4. How about that? Bieber's 2nd walk of the night.
Well, let's go back to the 11. Look at that knuckleball. That thing didn't even move, and that's for a position player. That's unbelievable. That knuckleball there, and then he just throws a fastball. There's a position player going. That was something else. That knuckleball, just see it float in.
This is only the 3rd time this year that Bieber has walked 2 batters in a start here at the big league level. Tim Anderson cuts and misses. He walked 2 against the Yankees on July 13th and 2 against the Twins on July 30th. And other than that, it's interesting. He's walked up 1 in every other start except for 1. And there's an asterisk next to that one as Lindor cuts it off. The only game he didn't walk a batter was against the Pirates, and that was a game he got rocked and only lasted an inning and 2/3. But he cruises through the 4th inning here. Shutout baseball. 2019 Kia Sorrento, the perfect getaway vehicle. Visit KiaDealers.com to learn more. By Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. And by your Chevy Network dealers. Visit ClickChevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Perfect night here in Chicago, where the Indians and White Sox are scoreless through 4. Bottom third of the Indians ordered 2 up. Yan Gomes will lead off. Carlos Rodon has given up just 1 hit. He walked 2 in the first, got out of a jam. Gave up a 1-out double to Lindor in the third, but escaped there as well. Now he has set down 5 in a row.
Gomes hit the ball pretty well his first time up, grounded out to third base. Sanchez had to go to the backhand side, make a long throw to get him.
Gomes sends a high fly ball to center field. Ryan Lamar just shy of the warning track. 1 down. Back to the studios in Cleveland for a game break. Here's Al Pawlowski. Thanks, Al. Jason Kipnis pops it up. Anderson, 2 down.
And you wouldn't think Carpenter would be a guy that would lead that league in home runs. You know what I mean? With some of the power they have over there.
I think I remember reading recently where he's kind of admitted the same thing. Like, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yeah, he says, I'm not a home run hitter, but I'll tell you what, he is grooved. 28 homers and 50 ribbies since, what, mid-May? Wow.
Rajay Davis is 0 for 1 tonight. Popped up a bunt attempt back in the third inning. Last 32 games, though, Raj has been swinging it well, 291 average. Here's one off the plate. It'll be a tough play. And Abreu couldn't pick it. And it was the speed of Davis that forced a quick throw.
Yeah, he spiked it right into the ground. That's really a hard pick because it didn't give him any time to maybe go out and stretch. Moncada had to get rid of it quickly. He realized that with Davis running. But watch where the throw is. He tried to get set and just spikes that ball. It's a tough pick for Abreu. So I'm sure that'll go as a base hit for Raj.
Second of the night for Cleveland. Back to the top of the order, and Francisco Lindor. He walked in the first, stole 2 bases, and doubled in the third. So Lindor now, Arch, is sitting on 29 homers, 39 doubles, and 19 stolen bases.
Yeah, he's the numbers are crazy.
Right back to Rodon. Inning over. Halfway through, scoreless in Chicago. pitching matchup. And we're going to cover the Jim Thome ceremony that will be held here in Chicago before the game. Indians Live begins their coverage at 6:30. First pitch at 7 right here on Sports Time Ohio. Yohan Moncada will lead off for the White Sox. Ryan Lamar and then Nicky Delmonico. Bieber has retired 7 of the last 8. Moncada went too far. Doesn't like the call. Drew a walk his first time up. And the count 0-2. Tapsick foul at the first base side. The information from the Indians clubhouse is that the reason Edwin left the game, something with the left arm. They're calling it discomfort. So I'm going with you. Precautionary reasons.
Yeah.
Something didn't feel right. You're 11 games up in the division. You have the luxury of saying, let's make sure this is.
We're not going to keep him in there. Get him out of there and see what it truly is and see how it feels tomorrow.
Two and two. And a foul right back. And the at-bat continues for Moncada.
A pretty good swing at that pitch there. Goes straight back.
Hits this one high and deep to right center field. That will get down and it will one-hop the wall. And Moncada's into second base with a leadoff double. His 21st double of the year.
It's their second double of the night and their third hit. He gives them a swinging room out over the plate. Changeup maybe?
Yeah, it looked like a changeup that was up and it sped up his bat.
Yes, it did. It was, outside, but it gives him a little swinging room, and he plugs the gap in right center field. So there's the leadoff double here in the bottom of the 5th.
Bottom of the order, Ryan Lamar. And a strike. Hits him ahead. Moncada back. Tried to bunt, jabbed at it, missed, and Lindor has to knock it down on throw back to second.
Yeah, that's a hard throw there by Gomes when you're with your knees, because watch the hitter. He comes back over. He's bunting. He's getting out of the batter's box. So that throw, he couldn't really. He would have hit him. Even though he was wandering off second base, you just need a clear path. We saw him do it the other day in Cleveland, where he picked a guy off. Picked off Garver from Minnesota at second base.
Ground and foul, third base side.
You know, he did go around and try to bunt one time, but once you get to 2 strikes, that sort of takes hitting it the other way out of play, because you're just trying to put it in play to see if you can move him at all. You're protecting yourself. You don't want to strike out.
Swing and a miss. Ryan Lamar goes down swinging. First out in the inning. T-Mobile, built for baseball.
Well, there you go. The off-speed pitches that he is commanding today, that he didn't have in his last start, has found it today. And much better pitches. He's got a couple of strikeouts on fastballs right there off of Polka.
Top of the order, Nicky Delmonico 0 for 2. Well, an inning ago, I told you it's only the 5th inning, but Baltimore's leading Boston 8-5. Now, after back-to-back bases-loaded walks, the Red Sox lead the Orioles 9-8 in the 6th.
Oh, there's plenty of time. They may get to 15.
Swung on and missed way out in front of it. 0-2. Dylan Bundy started that game. He made it through 5. He was pitching into the 6th because he's charged with 6 of those 9 runs. Now the bullpen has faltered as well for Buck Showalter. Here's the 2-strike pitch to Delmonico. Fouled out of play. Lindor trying to bird dog Moncada and keep him close at second. As Delmonico fouls another one on. Bieber really has slowed it down here to a crawl.
It'll look like they're trying to get on the same page on what he wants to throw here to put him away.
And he does. He just kept it slow. 6 strikeouts for Bieber, 2 down in the inning. Maybe that was part of his plan. Make him wait, make him wait.
Put him to sleep,
yeah,
and then throw slower. That's the curveball that's going to come down. And a good pitch. 6 strikeouts. But he gets the big second out here, and that runner has an advance from second after the leadoff double.
high in the air, right field. Dyer makes the catch. Leadoff double does no damage. And after 5 innings in Chicago, no score. Michael Brantley winning it in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah, what a way to end your homestand. Back-to-back walk-off wins.
You know, I read recently, I can't remember where I read it or who the author was, so I apologize to whoever it was that did all the research. But somebody was writing about the walk-off celebrations and where the genesis of what we see today, where it all began. And the author came to the conclusion that as far as he could tell, what we see today really began in Cleveland.
I agree.
With the Indians in the mid-90s.
In the 95 season, I think.
He was claiming that, you know, there are videos. And part of the problem is you don't have a lot of video to go back and look, you know, a long time ago. But when games were being televised more and more in the 90s especially, that's when the Indians took it to another level. And you know, specifically, there were instances where they pointed out where Vizquel and Tomey, I mean, they would go at each other. I mean, Tomey, you know, and that's a big, strong guy, Jimmy.
Oh, yeah.
He could land some blows to the,
I'll tell you what,
to
I'm
the solar
surprised some of
plexus.
those guys didn't get knocked out.
Crack a rib.
Yeah.
And Omar Vizquel was a little sneaky on the perimeter of some of those scrums. Here's a base hit for Ramirez. He's going to challenge the arm of Garcia.
He sure is.
Throwing from his back heels. It is close, but not in time. And Ramirez is into second with a one-out double. Give him 30 two-baggers on the year.
That's something I haven't seen him do from the right side of the plate in a while. Take him the other way. But I'll tell you, here's where the doubles start. Out of the box, we always talk about him. He's full bore. And that's a great throw by Garcia, and he just gets in. And I mean, you need every bit of it. And that was a nice throw on the movement. He was still falling away from the play, but the hands get in there. So Ramirez, his 30th double of the year.
Yeah, usually if you're wheeling and throwing off your back foot like that.
Right. It's not easy to, you know, to
that's a heck of a throw.
Land it on target.
But Ramirez in scoring position for Melky Cabrera, who's 0 for 1 since coming on for Edwin Encarnacion, who left with left arm discomfort in the first inning. Edwin drew a walk in that at bat and ended up stealing a base too on the back end of a double steal. Up and away. 1-1.
See if Milky can hurt his former team. With a base hit here to get the Indians on the board. There's been nothing but zeros in this game. Through 5, both teams with 3 hits.
Popped him up. A lot of that tonight. Garcia in from right. Makes the catch. Down to Andre.
Arch, Matt, help me with this. In football, they always told us when you're running, don't look back at the ball. Don't look where it's at, run where you're going. Jose is unbelievable. He's able to watch the ball where it's at and run as hard as he possibly can. He walked through his double a couple nights ago with me where he watched the ball where it hit. Remember, hit off the wall in Minnesota? He can tell you every single step of where the ball's at, where he's at, and keep running hard. Now, you guys know what I mean. Usually, you have to look where you're running, not back at it as you're going.
Well, he may take a quick peek, but he runs out of the batter's box the same every time, Andre. So his footwork is going to be the same because it never varies.
And that enables him to be able to maybe take a look or two because he knows exactly where he's at in terms of his strides. Nothing but a lot of pop-ups tonight, though. Save for 3 hits. But we're scoreless middle of the 6th.
Today's Tribe Rewards code is Brantley. Visit Indians.com for more details.
No score, bottom of the 6th inning. Jose Abreu will lead it off. Abreu 1 for 2. He singled in the first. And there's a ground ball to short. Lindor with the backhand throws one hop perfectly on the money to get him 1 away.
On the move, a 1-hop throw right on target and makes it look easy. It's not that easy. He just gets rid of it quickly, and that's so much of an easier play for the first baseman when the infielders can 1-hop it. They never used to do that. But boy, it's something now that you see quite a few guys do from the left side of the infield.
You got to check with your buddy Nick Capra, because I don't know what he said, but Frankie said something to him after he made that play. Maybe Capra said something to him like, "You can't do that." Frankie might have said, "Oh, yes, I can."
Yeah, we've seen him do it a number of times this year.
And the key is you've pointed out, the key to that play is looked like he might have
said, said nice play.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just bowing his head saying thank you very much.
He gets rid of it quickly.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be perfectly accurate if you get rid of it, because then your guy has a chance to make a play on the other end.
Absolutely. Get it started right, and you can keep it down, and it's an easy 1-hop throw for the first base where he's not short hopping a pick when you're trying to get something on it. because you have to set yourself and plant that back foot.
Well, the funny joke of this is Yonder just tells Frankie that he's got a bad arm. He can't get it across, but Yonder messes with him. They started this spring training. And Yonder says he appreciates it because it makes the job so much easier for him to pick it rather than to wonder if it's going to sail, or if it's going to go right or left. But he says, but every time he does it, he yells to him, "Get a stronger arm."
You know what? I'm going to wait for him one time to catch one barehanded and not use a glove. then Frankie will upset him. Yeah, right.
Daniel Palka must have heard us talking about him, because he's been swinging from his heels in this at bat. Well, that didn't work either.
So.
He has struck out all 3 times tonight.
But I will say this: he looked better that at bat than he did the other 2 taking him.
Isn't that something, though? And I know no hitter wants to be embarrassed, but to me, if you're not swinging, what's the point?
Yeah, especially coming with the fastball. He came right back with the heater, though, and 3 times he's gone down on fastballs, but this one he swung at.
Avisail Garcia 0 for 2 on the night. Slowly chops one to third. Ramirez throws a laser to Alonso to get him, and they go in order. And that is 6 in a row retired by Bieber.
Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio.
Chicago River, right in the heart of the Magnificent Mile. No score, top of the 7th inning. Yonder Alonso 0 for 2 on the night, leads it off and takes down low, ball 1. Alonso struck out in the 2nd. He grounded out in the 4th. And a line drive single into right field. Mid-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. It's been all pitching tonight. Carlos Rodon, 6 shutout innings. He had allowed just 3 hits before the Alonso leadoff single here in the 7th. Shane Bieber, 6 3-hit shutout innings himself with 7 strikeouts.
These 2 pitchers are going at it, man, going into the 7th. This is they're locked up into a nice little duo going.
Check swing, Gomes held up.
We thought it was going to, with Rodon, start out like his last start where he walked 5, and he walked 2 in the first and has settled in, had some easy pop-ups and mixed in 4 hits. But able to work his way around him. He's hit the ball hard twice tonight. Grounded out to third the first time and a deep fly to center the second.
Ground ball is short, could be 2. There's 1. Double play. Hey, the $15 district ticket is presented by Pastime, Ohio, and it includes your first drink. So grab your friends, come on down to the ballpark and enjoy the game from the drink rails and left or the corner in right field. You can only get them online, Indians.com/district ticket. Two down, Jason Kipnis, the batter. He is 0 for 2 on the night. 3-man shift right side of the infield. And that pitch is low and away. Liner caught, inning over. Stretch time in Chicago, no score.
Fifth, 26th in downtown Cleveland. You can catch performances by New Order, the Yvette Brothers, SZA, AWOL Nation, the Revivalists, Cake, and many more. Don't miss out on the biggest party to rock Cleveland. And to purchase single day or weekend tickets, go to Encaya.com.
Fouled right back, Omar Narvaez. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. Lifted, left side. Brantley gives it a look, but can't get there. 70% strikes for Shane Bieber tonight.
Well, how about that? 70% strikes. He's had a very good breaking ball, change up. It's been working for Shane tonight.
A leadoff double by Moncada in the second. 2-out double in the second inning by Anderson. 1-out, 2-out single by Abreu in the first. The only hits allowed. And it's time now for our Miller Lite hold true moment.
That's the double to lead off that inning by Yohan Moncada, and then Bieber just settled in and see you later. He got out of it. No problem. Never advanced. Next three guys went down. And that was the last hit he gave up.
Tim Anderson doubled in that second inning. Lefty-righty action in the pen. Kind of unusual to see guys throwing pitches at almost the exact same time in the bullpen. They're somewhat staggered usually, like this. One guy will throw that in, but that previous time they let it go at almost the same time. Now the 1-2. In the dirt. Swing and a miss, and that's strikeout number 8 for Shane Bieber.
Here comes Tito.
He finished one shy of a career high. He struck out 9 back in June against the Tigers.
Good breaking ball right there to end his night. That's a pitch that came back and shows you he had to battle his way through his last start with his fastball. Tonight he had it all working and pitched a gem. Unfortunately, he's going to come out and he's not going to have a chance for a win, but he certainly kept his team in the ball game.
Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made for Oliver Perez, and the Indians fans here behind the dugout give Bieber a nice hand as he heads off. We'll be right back. Down to the bases empty. And you can see that on the year, Perez, 29 appearances, no wins, a loss, an ERA of just 1.53, 2 walks, 19 strikeouts. He's got the switch hitter, Yohan Moncada, who doubled to the wall in right center his last time up. They'll turn him around and bat him right-handed. 13 of his 14 homers have come from the other side of the plate.
Yeah, he's scuffled from this side of the plate, no doubt. 163 average.
Strike 3 call. Oliver Perez comes in and strikes out Moncada. That's 9 Ks for Indians pitching on the night. And through 7 innings, still no score in Chi-Town. Scores, we're going to be here for a while. Rajay Davis fouls it off. Comes out hacking here against Carlos Rodon to start the 8th inning. Raj, a base hit on an infield single his last time up in the 5th.
Rodon, he's been cruising. They don't have anybody up in their bullpen, so I'm saying the Indians are going to have to score right here.
Indians could not cash in the 1st inning on a leadoff walk to Lindor. He stole 2 bases. They ended up with runners at 2nd and 3rd and 2 out, but could not cash in. Lindor had a 1-out double in the 3rd, but again they couldn't score him. Jose Ramirez had a 1-out double in the 6th, but they couldn't get him home. That almost stayed fair up the first baseline somehow. Just went foul. .94 pitches for Carlos Rodon. 59 of those have been strikes. And he struck him out. Just the 5th strikeout tonight for Rodon. One down here in the inning. Let's pause right now for a word from Circle K.
Polar Pop Cup, just 79 cents every day, only at Circle K.
Top of the order, Francisco Lindor. He doubled in the 3rd. Takes a strike. Right back up the gut, but look who's behind the bag. Moncada throws him out 2 away. Had him shaded up the middle. Perfectly defensed. And with 2 down, it brings up Michael Brantley. Out of play. Now the 0-2 to Brantley, and he fouls this one off. When the National League was founded back in 1876, essentially the beginning of Major League Baseball as we know it, overhand pitching was illegal. So essentially it looked like a softball game, which apparently in Baltimore it's a throwback game tonight. They must be playing softball because it's now 14-10 Boston. Wow. In the 7th inning.
They said they're going to get to 15. It didn't take long.
And they may need 15 to win. Out of play. Then again, 15 might not be enough the way they're going.
Well, if it's hot and humid like it can be in Baltimore in that little ballpark, the ball certainly does fly.
Crazy though, it hit 25 runs there. Not a single run scored here. The 0-2 to Brantley. That's fouled off.
Catcher's interference, I think.
Yeah, it sure was.
I heard it, and I thought it was late.
Yeah.
Well, I know why. Catcher held his bat.
Well, I was thinking as I watched that, I thought, man, he was really letting that ball track deep. It was just because he couldn't get the barrel to it.
And you could hear it. You could hear it hit his glove.
Yeah.
A lot of times you don't really see it or hear it. The umpire does, but that one was a thud.
That whacked his glove pretty good.
Yeah. There you go, catcher's interference. So that's an error on Narvaez, and Brantley will reach, and that'll give Ramirez a chance. But maybe that's one reason why it was a little interference, because Brantley let that ball get a little deeper to just maybe foul it off to stay on the off speed, the breaking ball, and he went out to get it.
Error charged to Narvaez. No at bat though for Brantley. So Brantley officially 0 for 3 on the night, but a chance for the Indians now here in the 8th inning. If Ramirez can bring him home all the way from first.
Well, I like Jose's last at bat, that double. taking it the other way. Something, you know, he doesn't do a whole lot of. To me, it seems like he gets a little more pull happy from this side of the plate.
Right-hander, left-hander just beginning to loosen for Chicago. Ramirez jolts one foul on the left side.
You can hit a ball down and in like that. That was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He got the head out on that one. Only one thing to do is slow it down to him. Either a changeup or something away.
Ramirez 1 for 3 tonight with a double. 351 on the year against Chicago with 4 homers, 9 runs batted in. Up high, 2 balls and a strike. And he popped him up again. This has been amazing how Rodon has induced pop-up after pop-up all night long. Middle of the 8th, no score. Oliver Perez, who got the last out in the 7th, stays on to pitch. He's got Ryan Lamar, right-handed hitter, but then he's got the lefty Nicky Delmonico, the switch hitter Sanchez, who they want to turn around. And a swing and a miss. Neil Ramirez continues to throw. Should they get to Abreu, you'll see Jose Ramirez. Neil Ramirez. If you see Jose Ramirez pitching, that'll be a story. Although, why not? He's done everything else. Strike call to Lamar. It's 0-2. You see that up on the left field scoreboard. They have Oliver Perez in his career in night games. His pitched 9 2/3 innings. I'm guessing he's thrown a few more innings in that night games.
Well, I would certainly hope so. He's been around for a while. Either that or used sparingly.
He's like your reverse vampire. He only pitches in day games. Just missed outside.
Little teaser trying to bring that breaking ball in the outside corner. This is one that may wrap around the plate. Yes, exactly what happened.
Popped up, foul. Out of play. They're just a bit off. Redbird says in his career 894 and a third innings in night games.
They were close. Give him an A for effort.
Swing and a foul back. High heater. Got the bat to it. Boy, can't say enough about how well Shane Bieber pitched tonight. 6 2/3, 3-hit baseball. He retired the last 8 in a row and 15 out of the last 17.
Yeah, he's pitched well in the Central Division this year.
Line to right. That's going to drop for a hit. Nice work by Lamar. He was down to the count.
Good at bat for him.
White Sox get their leadoff man aboard.
You know, he fouled off a couple until he gets one that was down a little bit. It was away. And that's where he likes it, I guess. And he takes it the other way. And we're going to get a pinch hitter now for Delmonico.
Adam Engel will be the hitter.
Showed that he squared around. He looked like he was going to bunt. You have Sanchez and Abreu to follow.
Bunts it, foul.
Engel on the year, 6 sacrifices. The White Sox have 18 as a team, but you see where the bat angle was on that one, behind the plate, so it's tough to put it in fair territory when it's back behind the plate.
Oliver Perez tries to be as crafty as possible. Sometimes he'll come set, he'll hold it, he'll pause. Sometimes he'll come set and fire it right out. That last time almost had Lamar leaning the wrong way at first.
Step off move.
Bumped it in the air, but it's going to fall. 0-2 the count. So Engel was sent up there with one job to do it.
Now you're seeing it more and more where guys, they just can't bunt. Look at where the bat angle is. That's point. You can't put the ball in third territory with the head of the bat facing behind you. It has to be out front. And it's almost like you have to catch the ball with your bat. It's almost like you're playing catch just so you can deaden it. But boy, that's becoming a lost art for people that know how to bunt. It really is. Yeah, he's gonna let him swing now. You can't let him bunt it fall, can you? And he does.
He just did.
There you go.
One down.
Are you kidding me?
That'll get the boo birds out.
Well, sure it will. Three opportunities to get a bunt done. And you know what? This is, I think, like a teaching experience. If you're Rick Renneria, that one was better, but it still wasn't out in front of the home plate. He had it way out. Away from him, yes.
All right, let me ask you this, because his footwork, now granted there's more than one way to skin a cat, I realize that, but we were always taught get both feet square, almost square to the pitcher, so that you are in front of home plate. That time his back foot was back. It looks like
you
it's
gotta almost be on the plate with that. Some guys don't like to square around like that. They're afraid they can't get out of the ball, but at the waist you have to be turned around out front so you can get up. I mean, from the waist up. But you got to get closer to the plate so you can handle and reach everything. It's just, it'll go as a strikeout.
Yolmer Sanchez. He fouls it off to the right. 0-2. But more to your point, it's getting harder and harder to find more than maybe 2 guys on any team that are really good at getting a bunt down.
Now, Engel is a good defender, and he's a bottom of the order hitter. Those guys have to know how to bunt. That's part of the game for them.
Swung on and missed. Perez strikes him out. 2 down.
That'll probably do it for
Yes, it
Perez.
will. Here comes Terry Francona.
Well, just check it out how he carves him up. There you go, a little heater away. He fouls off, and then let's elevate it, go upstairs. Boy, he didn't waste any time with that right-hander. That was a nice job tonight by Perez.
His job is done. Neil Ramirez on to face Jose Abreu when we return. Against the White Sox, red hot on the year. He doubled tonight with 1 out of the 6, but they couldn't get him home. Jose Abreu has been on a tear since the All-Star break, and he is 1 for 3 tonight. He's been held to a 2-out single in the first. But he's up in a key spot here as far as Chicago is concerned. They've got the runner at first with 2 down, and that is Ryan Lamar.
And the outfield very deep, cutting off doubles, trying to stop it from getting to the fence in case he hits a line drive.
And Ramirez starts him off with a slider for strike 1. Runner goes. Swinging a high fly ball. Deep left center field, but Raj is there. And the inning is over. We'll go to the 9th. Still no score.
not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Well, the White Sox go to the bullpen for the first time tonight. Left-hander Xavier Cedeno, who has been rocked for 7 runs in his last 9 innings of work, will take the hill here in the 9th inning. Carlos Rodon went 8 innings, 4-hit shutout baseball, walked 2, struck out 5. But more importantly, Rick, he had 11 outs in the air tonight. 5 of them were on the infield, and by my count, 10 of the 11 were just routine pop-up outs.
Yeah, just the easy fly ball outs. He was dealing tonight. That was the very good Rodon, no doubt. It was a good starting pitcher matchup all night long. Bieber and him matched up nicely.
Melky Cabrera, if you joined us late, came on for Edwin Encarnacion, who left in the first inning after he did something on a swing to his left arm. We're hoping it was just for precautionary reasons. He stayed in the game after he drew a walk, stole second base as part of a double steal, but that did not come back up to bat when his spot was due in the 3rd inning. We saw Cabrera in the on-deck circle then. 2-0, misses high, 3 balls, no strikes.
Cedeno, a guy doesn't throw too hard. He's looking in, thinking that he may have had a strike there. You see him looking into the umpire. The umpire was just looking straight back. It was 3-0 count now.
Taken all the way. It's 3-1. Full count.
Comes back with a cutter down and in. Maybe he swung at ball 4 there. Watch that pitch. It's going to run in. And that was. He swung at ball 4, helped him out. But that's his pitch, the cutter, 87.
And low, ball 4. Leadoff man aboard for the Indians. 3rd time tonight they've had their leadoff man aboard.
Okay, we got a pinch runner now. You got
2nd time in 3 innings.
And he's going back to the bullpen. That lefty, he was out for 1 hitter to keep Cabrera to the right side. He's going back to the right-hander, which could make it a little bit easier for Allen to steal a base.
All right, well, we've got a timeout. We'll be back right after this. 2018 Hall of Fame Enshrinement Festival Canton Repository Grand Parade, Sunday night at 8 on Fox Sports Ohio and streaming on Fox Sports Go. And speaking of Hall of Fame and football, Joe told me we actually had it wrong all night long. It was actually the Patriots and the Ravens playing tonight in Baltimore, and it's 17-10 now.
Okay, he's got
in the 8th inning.
We should have known better. Joe's he's on it.
Juan Minaya on for the 31st time this year. Hard thrower, features primarily the fastball. Arch, the question, is Geyer bunting in this situation?
No, I don't think I would. You've got speed over there. I want to see his move first before you bunt here. Geyer's been swinging it pretty well. I'll tell you what, I'm looking at Minaya. He's, you know, like you said, primarily a fastball pitcher, about 75, 76% fastballs, an occasional changeup and an occasional breaking ball. And left-handers are only hitting 139 off him. And you've got Alonso on deck, so try and hit that hole between first and second. They're going to keep an eye on him because Allen can run. He's the one that stole the base yesterday to give the Indians an opportunity where Lindor could just pull the ball. Brantley could get him in. So why give up and out when you have a guy that can steal a base? I just want to see this pitcher's move first.
So far hasn't shown much as far as a move. Borderline pitch, called a strike.
And that was pretty quick to the plate. That was on a slide step. It was about 1.1.
Not going, and 0-2.
Okay, so now you got your work cut out for you, Brandon. You got to try and put it in play. To me, try to stay inside that baseball and look for the hole between first and second. Not an easy thing to do, is, you know, for any player to come on and pinch run and think you're going to automatically steal a base. You know, when you've been sitting around for 2.5 hours. Not that they're not loose or they don't stretch out before they get out there, but very difficult to do. See, they're guessing that he may go, so the pitch out. And that helps because when you get 0-2, you can afford to waste one. So they tried for the pitch out. Instead of that pitch, a lot of times, especially as quick as he is to the plate, I just like a high fastball up and away. You know, don't change anything or don't waste. You may get the hitter to chase after that pitch.
Brandon Geyer at the plate, staring down a 1-2 count. And he grounds one towards third. They go to second and they get the force.
Well, he tried to put it in play. It's just that he forced him to try and roll over on that ball. He didn't give him any swinging room to hit it the other way. So fielder's choice. They do get the lead runner there.
And back to the bullpen goes Rick Renneria.
Well, we've seen this before with him. He used 4 pitchers and 4 different hitters, but when they were in Cleveland earlier in the year.
It's still early in the inning. We'll be right back. He has faced 85 left-handed hitters in his career and has never allowed a home run to a lefty. Yonder Alonso is 1 for 3 on the night. He singled to lead off the 7th inning. He bats with Brandon Guyer at first, and one out here in the 9th in a scoreless game. 3 infielders on the right side for Chicago. Yolmer Sanchez, the third baseman, is in on the grass about almost halfway between third and short, or third and second. Alonso lines it to right field. That'll go down for a base hit.
Well, he got a breaking ball. It stayed up, and Alonso likes the pitch up. He gets a base hit. So first and second now. And here he comes. I didn't even know they had anybody warming up.
There wasn't anybody warming up. This is Don Cooper, the pitching coach.
I was going to say.
Unless Don's going to start chucking.
Well, there you'll see. He made a mistake with that breaking ball. It stayed on the middle part, or to in on that plate, and Alonso put a nice swing on it. It's a base hit. So Don Cooper's going to have his say now. And Jan Gomes, who's going to be the hitter. He's got a 7-game hitting streak going. He doesn't have one yet. But he's hit the ball pretty hard all 3 times tonight.
Unfortunately for Gomes, he grounded into a double play back in the 7th inning. But a base hit right here could give the Indians the lead. Guyer runs well, and the outfield is very deep for Chicago. Anything that gets through should give Cleveland the only run of this game. Gomes is a .288 hitter against left-handed pitching, but was 0 for 3 against Rodon.
If Jan can keep that right center field stroke against the left-hander.
Fastball fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Oh, he tied him up big time.
Yeah, he wanted to go out there and try and hook it. Stay back, stay patient. We're going to run it down and in on that. You can see the spin on that ball. And once you commit as a hitter, it's tough to hold it back up, and you want to get that barrel head of the bat out in front of it. To get it before it comes inside, you have to really be patient on that pitch.
Good block there by the catcher Narvaez, and it's 2-2.
Don't want to tell you now, but Boston has 19 on the board.
Safety.
Yeah, they
got him to 19. Wow, that's
scary, isn't it?
The 2-2, and a foul right back. Texas beat the Yankees 12-7 in New York. A ton of runs scored there. Atlanta pasted Milwaukee 10-1 down in hot Atlanta. There's the 2-2, and Gomes scoops that one up and pulls it foul. That drops Milwaukee 3 games back of the front-running Cubs in the NL Central.
Yeah, that's their pitching's giving it up a little bit now.
Brandon Guyer trying to get home with the only run of this game. Gomes, meanwhile, fighting tooth and nail against Jace Fry.
He's falling off some good pitches. This ball had some mustard on it. It was about 97. The gun set coming in there, so it's a good pitch to foul off. I still think he wants to go back to that breaking ball down and in that he got him earlier. That's the one I think he wants to go to. He went with a couple of high fastballs. That's the one he wanted. But Gomes doing a nice job. Keep that hitting streak going. Get it to 8.
Jace Fry just made his major league debut last September, and you know the thing they say about young pitchers, getting to 2 strikes is one thing. Putting a hitter away, you know, he might have been free and easy with that breaking ball early in the count. Now that he's got 2 strikes, he's maybe trying to throw the perfect pitch. Doesn't have as much break to it.
And sometimes you don't want to make a mistake with it, so you throw it a little bit harder.
2-2 in the dirt. Now a full count.
Okay, came back with a changeup there. So this is the big pitch of the ball game here for Fry. Full count, 1 out, 2 on.
Well, this crowd sensing a key moment in the game here. The 3-2 is popped up foul.
Yeah, good at bat. Really good at bat for Gomes.
I mean, Arch, do you remember the last time you came to the South Side and sat through 8 innings of a game with a crowd this quiet before?
No,
It's
and
like we're
they've
at
got a
tennis
nice
match.
crowd. I know, and it's
Very
0-0.
polite, or a golf, you know, very polite.
Yeah, on a Friday night in Chicago, I'm used to seeing people fight.
Again, the 3-2. He struck him out.
Well, he wins the battle. This one, 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Or wait, that might have been a cutter. That had some spin to it, some rotation. And he gets him to swing and miss, so they get the big second out. Let's see if Chicago boy can get it done.
Jason Kipnis is 0 for 3 on the night. Mentioned before, he's had a good year swinging the bat against lefties, but Rodon had his number tonight. An opportunity, though, to make good here in the 9th inning. Nothing into the count. Popped him up. The third baseman, Sanchez, makes the grab. Indians strand 2 in the 9th, and we're still scoreless. It's shutout baseball. Walked 2, struck out 8, 106 pitches. The most he's made in a major league game, this being his rookie year. But he was dynamite. A hit in the first, a hit in the second. The only other hit he allowed was in the 5th inning. He retired the last 8 straight, 15 of the last 17 overall.
Yeah, very sharp and crisp tonight. Did his last start with the heater, but he had his weapons working tonight. Secondary pitches, that's so important.
Since then, the bullpen, Oliver Perez, a scoreless inning with 3 strikeouts. Neil Ramirez got the final out. That one almost got us, pal.
Well, again, it went right between us.
There was absolutely no hero in me with that one either.
No. It came right back between us. We'll give it to a fan down here. Oh, that's great. The 2 guys were fighting for it. It went right into the lady's lap. Good.
Perfect.
There you go.
The 1-1. Outside edge. Breaking ball strike to Daniel Palco.
That's 2 within about the last week that we've had line drives coming up at our squash.
Palca drives one deep left field, and the White Sox win it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Polka had a tough night going right now, striking out the first 3 at-bats, but he got on this fastball and stayed on it and hit it the other way. And we said he was a strong guy. That's his 18th home run, and it comes in walk-off fashion. Wow. Hey, what a ball game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, look, one of the things I've said that I always love about the game of baseball is it always provides opportunity for redemption.
It sure does.
He had a horrible night, punched out 3 times, looked bad doing it, but he got another chance, and he made good on it to make the White Sox a winner here tonight.
Yeah, and you know what? And that ball was up at 96 and off the plate, and watch where he goes. He's able, and a left-hander, to get on top of it. And I'll tell you, he drives it. This is how strong he is the other way, and no doubt, you forget about the first 3 at-bats, and he becomes the hero of this ball game, and they win it 1-0.
And the frustrating thing for the Indians is that Bieber did pitch so well for them, and while they didn't have a lot of opportunities, they did have some chances. And for a team that is one of the best offenses in baseball, 3rd in runs scored, they weren't able to get a hit to drive in a run or to really bust open an inning.
Right, shut down. They didn't hit many balls hard tonight. Let's put it that way. So you know what? You give the left-hander Rodon credit, and they pitched a heck of a ball game against the Tribe.
All right, we'll come back tomorrow and try to even up the series as the Indians and the White Sox continue this 3-game weekend affair. Tomorrow's game will be at 7 o'clock Eastern time with our coverage beginning Indians Live at 6:30. Time now for Indians Live post-game. Al and Jensen. Guys, if you love pitching, this was the place to be tonight.